You know, recently a trans woman had the dubious honor of being the first trans woman to actually be arrested due to an anti-trans bathroom bill at the Florida Capitol, which is now I'm not going after this individual, Marcy. I'm not going after Marcy in this one. This ain't a victim blaming argument. Gotta say though, pretty much the number one place a trans woman might expect to be accosted. So just, you know, solidarity, etc., etc. There she is, posting through it, uh, as we all should. Didn't she do it on purpose? I mean, at the Florida Capitol building, probably, right? What else would you be doing there? Yeah, so far, most of the incidents that I've heard of people getting accosted due to anti-trans bathroom bills have been cisgender women, because there are, as much as it might not seem like it using the internet, there are more cis women than there are trans women. Marcy was arrested March 19th on a trespassing charge after she used a woman's restroom in a protest against Florida's law barring people from using bathrooms that don't align with their assigned sex at birth in government-owned or leased buildings. According to the Associated Press, Marcy Reintgen had sent letters to every Florida state lawmaker to inform them that she planned to use a restroom at the state house that corresponded with her gender identity. She included a photo of herself for identification. Damn, we're doing some Rosa Parks shit. I knew she was there as part of a protest. I didn't read into it further. My assumption was like there was a protest going on there and she broke from the protest to use the restroom, and that was the content. I didn't realize it was like a come and stop me kind of thing. That's pretty nice. I know that you know in your heart that this law is wrong and unjust. I know that you know in your heart that transgender people are human too, and that you can't arrest us away, she wrote. I know that you know that I have dignity. That's why I know that you won't arrest me. Ah! They took the bait. John Davidson, a senior staff attorney for the ACLU, told the Associated Press that Reintgen's arrest is the first of its kind that ACLU's attorneys are aware of in any state with a bathroom ban. Freed on pretrial release the day after her arrest, according to the Miami Herald. If convicted on the misdemeanor trespassing charge, she could face up to 60 days in jail. Very brave of her, because they would put her in a men's jail. Well, it'd be jail. They sex segregate jails. Yeah, it depends on what kind of holding facility you're in, but yeah, they do. For 60 days, they do. Yeah, for sure. Might get protective custody on request in Florida. If I'm a criminal, it's going to be so hard for me to live a normal life, all because I wash my hands. Well, thankfully, it's not a felony charge, so it wouldn't go on your record like that. But she said, adding she was horrified and scared over what might happen next. The ACLU said in a statement that Reintgen's arrest was not about safety, but about cruelty, humiliation, and the deliberate erosion of human dignity. That's pretty true. I've said this before, and nobody here disagrees with me, of course, but like a bathroom ban is a genocidal effort. Because if you can't use public restrooms, you are not a part of public life, right? You can't use public life. It's an attempt to erase your presence. Like it's exclusionary in a way that isn't like and I'm not trying to compare two bad bitches, but if you compare it to like Jim Crow segregation, right? You've got like the white water fountain and the black water fountain, the white bathroom and the black bathroom and what have you. Obviously, Jim Crow era segregation went way farther, in large part because being black is a visually identifiable characteristic in a way that being transgender is not. You know, if you go after everyone who's clocky, you're going to hit a lot of cisgender women. But the functional consequence for you know, using a public restroom as a transgender person is you either use the one that you identify with and potentially violate the law, or you use the one you don't identify with and potentially get like beat up by people or accosted or also arrested. Because if you're a trans guy and you go into a woman's restroom, people are going to say, oh my God, it's a trans woman. And then they'll arrest you, you know? Um, it is meant to make your life unlivable in the public space. It is an attempt to remove you, which is genocidal, you know? At the very least, keep you in the closet. What did the Miami Herald say about this? Ah, every goddamn site. There was a trans guy that got assaulted for using the women's restroom. Yep. I remember this one. It's unwinnable. It's unwinnable. Ryan Jen, who said she's a moderate conservative, was released from jail on pretrial release about 24 hours later. That's very funny. She says she regrets her experience and didn't think she'd actually be arrested. Now back at school, she said she has to find a way to fly back to Florida for further hearings. She's not a Florida resident? Okay, this is funny. This is maybe a little bit of a FAFO, but I completely support the if anything, honestly, the fact that she's a moderate conservative might actually like bolster her I don't know how you put it, her the workability of this as a front for the public action. How are you going to email all the legislators in Florida daring them to arrest you and then not expect them to arrest you? I don't know. Well, people are strange. You know, there's a lot of strange folks out there. Yeah, I support the energy. I support the intent, the interest. I don't know. Yeah, her Twitter bio just says Catholic. Huh. Hopefully not a convert. There are lots of non-convert Catholics in the country. We just don't hear about them. Could she just not show up? I don't know how it works in the US, but do they have the authority to do anything if she's not in the state? Yes, they do. 100%. Yeah. If you have a pending warrant in a different state, a judge can send, people after you. 100%. At that point, the warrant, you've also crossed state borders, so that severely increases the penalty because you're fleeing. You've bothered the FBI, basically. Sanctuary cities might protect you. No, they won't. Sanctuary cities don't provide information on their constituents to the DHS or whatever, but they won't like not work with the FBI to have you extradited if there's a warrant out for your arrest in a different state. You don't want that. I mean, like, that would be, you'd have to fucking, every time anyone committed a crime, they just cross state borders. FBI doesn't care about state warrants. Well, that not if you're within the state, but if a person's fled the state, the judge can petition the FBI to go after them, because then that becomes a federal matter. That's why, like, crimes are often judged by a greater severity if you've crossed state lines in the process of committing the crime. You get me. Don't commit crimes, folks. Unless the crime you're committing is being too cool. In which case,